How are you? कैसे हैं आप सब? I hope you people are doing great. Let's have a look once more again. This is the Hindu newspaper of 4th of Feb 2025. हमारी बात हुई थी बहुत पहले. अभी पहले पेज पे कुंभ के बारे में दिया गया है कि नागा साधु निरंजनी अखाड़ा they were Triveni Sangam to take a holy dip on the Basant Panchami during the Mahakumbh Prayag. तो ये इससे रिलेटेड है, महाकुंभ प्रयाग से रिलेटेड आर्टिकल. वन मोर आर्टिकल हैज बीन गिवन रिलेटेड टू एंटी कन्वर्जेंस बिल टेबल इन राजस्थान हाउस. So in Rajasthan there is the BJP government, and BJP government had bring a anti-convergence bill to prevent the religious conversion carried out by force, fraud, inducement in the state assembly during the budget session. I mean, it's a budget session is going on, and during this the Rajasthan government place anti-convergence bill. Someone has converged through the fraud and force and inducement. So that's why the BJP government had bring. If someone has find that it had the provision, it has violated the law, then he'll be imprisonment up to the 10 year and 5 up to the 50,000 for the various offenses. So this is the important. Another article related to Manipur violence, apex court to wait for the CFSL report on illeg Biren and audio. So this article related to the Central Forensic Science Laboratory on the variety of audio recording illegally, establishing the complexity of the Manipur. What is the name of Manipur Chief Minister? It's Biren Singh. And there is the ethnic violence also in the Manipur, so we should be keep in mind that in this article what we'll do, I mean at first we'll try to find out the capital and bordering area of the Manipur, and what was the ethnic violence is going in the Manipur. We'll see that also. And Solicitor General, who is Solicitor General right now, Tushar Mehta, he said that who is the Chief Justice of India? Sanjeev Khanna, Chief Justice of India. And they also, and there the ethnic group also, Kuki group also in the Manipur. Then these are the same important points you have to keep in mind that. And nothing important has been given. So we should be keep in mind that like 3 things: bordering area as well as the capital, and then ethnic group also. Amid of the global tumults, rupee breaches the 87 against the dollar. I mean, you can see that the value of rupees is going below, and it's $1 is equal to 87 rupees, and you can see that there is the little bit we should be concerned about that, why the Indian rupees is going again the devaluate their value like 87 rupees per dollar. The Indian rupees slumped almost 0.6% or 49 paise to the breach the 87 mark against the US dollar on Monday amid of the meltdown for the most emerging market currency and stock the market across the Asia Europe first. So what happened the last couple of the month is that the dollar is appreciating. The dollar index is pretty high, and against all the currency it is not just the emerging market but even with the developed country. Today the dollar index has a peak up against the above 109 economic affair secretary. The index has risen over the 1%, and there is the global region also. and there is the regional region also for uh, devaluating the Indian currency. And next articles, Marathi must be in the Maharashtra office government. Promote the use of the Marathi language. Do you know about the language which has been given in which articles, and which part? How many language has been given in our constitution? You must know about that if you. Uh, Another article, there is the election campaigning in Delhi also, different criteria uh, uh, like like Yamuna cleaning, and there are many issue in Delhi, pollution, Yamuna cleaning. So party, the different political party playing the blame game, something like that. Anti-conversion bill we have discussed, which 50,000 fine and 10 year of imprisonment if someone find that they violate the law, like prohibition of unlawful conversion of religious bill to 2025 has made a provision for the imprisonment up to 10 years and 5 up to the 50,000. So there is the love jihad also going on. The phrases has been floated. I mean, people are saying that love jihad, and love jihad is the cases is the serious and causing the great deal of the concern for the society at large. So that's why our government is thinking about that. We have to bring a anti-conversion bill so that we can prevent such type of the forcefully religious conversion. So that's why government bring, I mean, Rajasthan government bring that law. Another article related to the replay or irrespective LDF. Nothing important. Haryana Minister Ali the we defeat him to last the election and blame game going that. Railway fund hike 3 for the West Bengal since the Mamta Banerjee was at the helm. Okay, let's move for the next article. Some wind behind the silos of Indian shipping industry. India must formulate a critical mineral. Do you know about the critical mineral? I mean, the mineral is most critically, I mean, it can't be easily find out, and which is most important for the electronic gadgets. And India must formulate the critical mineral framework that it has, it just equitable. So this article related to that. India has come a long way in its attempt to transition to clear form of power in the budgetary allocation to the Ministry of New Renewable Energy between the fiscal budget 2015, and that was the 15,035 crore, and now 2025 it's 32,626 crore. But the allocation other than the 2015 23 have been under uh, under uh, underutilized, leading to lower revised estimate. However, this does not fully reflect the clean energy journey India attempt to measure. Leave with the PM Kusum. Okay, PM Kusum scheme in 2019 ahead of COVID-19 disruption within the outlay 34,422 crore. The scheme envisages the having of a grid solar irrigation pump, grid connection solar plant on the fellow farmland. While the PM Kusum also one of the important, just because of that ki government is trying to move up the renewable energy. The PM Kusum has received a tepid response with less than the half of the gigawatt of the installed capacity. The realization that energy transition in both the desirable outcome and the requirement occur during the COVID-19 year, when there were the major supply chain disruption to the coal, oil, gas. This led to India pledging to produce the half its energy requirement from the renewable energy. And it's about the 5 years from now, when COP26 in 2021. I mean, India is focusing on the renewable energy, so that's why government bring the PM Kusum, so that ki it can uh, having a grid solar irrigation pump and the grid connection solar plant, so that we can reduce the dependency of fossil fuel. Okay, and India pledged that COP26 in 2021, that they will pledging to produce the half of energy from the renewable energy. So it's just on the way. And it was 2021 budget, the Herald the clean energy sector with 18,000 crore for the PLI. Do you know about the PLI? Production Link Initiative scheme for the advanced chemistry, cell manufacturing, augment India grid scale battery storage capacity, 4,500 crore PLI scheme for the solar photovoltaic models, of the 19,500 crore in 2020. But the government also decided to levy a 40% of basic custom duty on the solar modules and a 25% on the 25% of the solar cell, to reduce the government overwhelming the import dependency of the China. However, this slow solar power installation nationwide, with the price rising, and even while the renewable constitute 46% of the India total installed capacity, and 70% of its power output in the form of the coal. And experts have pointed out that the need for the grid scale battery storage technology to augment the India renewable output, as invest entertainment renewable energy production lead to the continued reliances on the fossil fuel based power, with the realization that the steep BCD, what is the BCD, basic custom duty, could be inflammatory and the counterproductive to the localizing the production, and particularly in the capital intensive lithium ion battery technology sector. The government has pronounced that it will attempt 12 crucial minerals. Okay, so now we understand that why the government must formulate the framework for the for the critical mineral. Just because of that, Indian government want to focus on the renewable energy. I mean, half of the energy Indian government it want from the renewable energy, which India government has pledged in COP26 in 2021, that will get the half of energy from the renewable energy. So that's why, like a solar power plant, and you know that solar power plant has made from the critical mineral. So that's why we need to focus on the critical mineral, so that it can bring what is the aim of the Indian government to half of energy from the renewable energy. So that's why, like the energy transition resources and technology would require the India growing leadership formulating the critical mineral framework, and that socially environmentally just during the extraction and equitable distribution, with the US withdrawing the leadership position in this area, and India must aim to play a bigger role. So Indian government, yeah, India must focus on that area where the critical most important critical minerals deposit in the maximum number, like a Central Asia, like a South America country. So that's why whatever the aim of India to achieving the half of energy from the renewable energy, photo like a grid energy. So we'll get it after the getting the self sufficient in the critical mineral. Okay, another article related to the Donald Trump is triggering a trade war over the unrelated bilateral issue. Okay, a new president in US. What is the name of new president? Donald Trump. And what is the number of new president? 47 US president Donald Trump. Okay, when he came into the power, he made various changes in the policy, and they imposed the lots many taxes on the tariff on the different country, like the China, like a Brazil, like a even BRICS country also. They say that ki will put some extra heavy taxes on the BRICS country also: Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa. Okay, so there is the citizenship issue also in the US also thing. Canada, Mexico, they put a heavy tax so that it can 25%. And over the weekend, what happened, the three executive order slapped the Canada, Mexico goods with the tariff of 25%. The only the Canadian energy product were the spread, and the 10% of the tax will apply. uh, White House further announced that it in the line with the promise of Trump made on the campaign. Even the Trump has campaign also, he has a promise that Beijing responded campaign tell, and a 10% tax on the goods from the China. I mean, whatever the goods coming from the China, US government put the 10% tax, and Canada similar, Canada and Mexico also. Okay, and is there role of the WTO, World Trade Organization? What is the role of WTO? Take, okay, the Beijing responded angrily and saying that it would be the file lawsuit with the WTO against the US for the wrongful practice, even as it said that it would be take the necessary uh, countermeasure. I mean, yeah, I mean, China also want to take the countermeasure. Whatever the US product in China selling, that China even want to impose a heavy tax on the US product. Okay, so this is the article, and another article is the kind of job needed for the Viksit Bharat. Which kind of job needed for the Viksit Bharat? What is the aim of India to creating the job related policy? Budget has been presented in the this right time to outline the three kind of job. This writer believed that must create a beyond reviewing the private consumption in the urban area, and we must continue to strengthen the long-term job creation and real wage growth across in India. Okay, 2024 budget had introduced the employment link initiative. So in 2024 budget, you must be understand about that government has played the employment link initiative for the employment. Take. And under the Prime Minister, the five scheme initiative designed to create over the 4 crore job over the 4 year, or over the 5 year, with the central outlay of 2 lakh crore. The Prime Minister internship scheme, first is the Prime Minister internship scheme, saw the significant traction in 2024, and with the 6.21 lakh application for 1.2 lakh opportunity. The outcome on the rest four beyond the draft cabinet note on the ELI. What is the ELI? ELI means Employment Link Initiative, and the meeting by the DPIIT with the Ministry of Labor and CII remain to be the, but there must be more deliberation on the kind of job we wish to create for the Viksit Bharat. First, you should be focused about that. Ki climate reliances. India was the seventh most affected country by the climate change in 2019, having suffered an income loss of $159 billion in 2021 across the Reserve RBI, and will face the adaptation of cost of heavy 1 trillion by the 2020-30, and impact the agriculture, labor, productivity, and also livelihood require exponentially higher level of funding for the building rural, urban adaptation, capability, rejuvenation of local ecosystem to boost the raw job creation. To meet the net zero target 2070, the government must create an initiative job which climate resilience and the maximizing all the co-benefit. And this could be mean the provided the 3 to 4 state subsidies e-rickshaw in about the six lakh village to create about the 2 million job, and focus on the women driver who improving the last mile mobility. Or there can be new way to enable the private investment in the compressed biogas plant to bridge the gap of 82 plants set up in the versus of the target 5,000 set in 2018, or even the accelerating the achieving the 500 gigawatt non-fossil fuel energy capacity target to create over the millions of jobs with the stronger support for the decentralized and the rooftop solar, which can 7 times more than the labor intensive. Second point, we should be focused about the artificial intelligence. With the rise of generative AI, numerous jobs now have been 15% automation potential. And the scenario by the MC Kinjay Global Institute show that 50% of automation adoption in India can be happen in the next 10 years. And I mean everything is going through the automation. Okay, and the hope to create a millions of skill talent export, but their employment potential can be limited in the generation AI era as a labor gets costlier relative to the capital. With the launch of the mega GPT stimulating the software company, AI writing 25% of Google codes and layout due to the chatbots. Even in India, new job will also need to be the prioritized physical engagement and utilizing our human creativity, which this writer term as the AI resilience, and this can take a form of the larger education and health budgets to plug the deficit of the millions of the healthcare professional and the teacher across the state, and dedicated financing from the National Rural Livelihood Mission to facilitate the global and urban market linkage of the global local product, craft, knowledge, farmer, artisan in the rural area. So this is the important point related to employment generation, and employment generation as well as the environment concern. The third by bring the aspiration centric. First, what we'll discuss climate resilience. Second is the artificial intelligence. Third is the aspiration centric. Despite their the growing engagement with the startup culture, rural youth continue to have a low confidence due to the deeper in from the poor fundamental education. This include the English and the resources deprived upbringing. This can reinforce the dependency on the government jobs and the coaching to crack the entrance exam, either the aspiration are shaped by their socio-economic background, digital media, interaction of the Samaj, Sarkar, Bazaar, slow growth of the non-farm job, want of the form of off-farm job creation, which respond to these dynamic aspirations, and this can take a form of rapid infrastructure development such as the building around the 70,000 integrated house, plugging the 95% infrastructure gap to create over the 2 million job, or the boosting the productivity and value addition, import export share item, and the tech enable local manufacturing of agri input, greater use of tech, social media, rebranding the ruler can also help to make up the farm job aspirational for the India youth. One clear avenue is accelerating the national mission on the edible oil seed to reduce the India 57% import dependence of the edible oil back to the pre-WTO level, with the revitalized rural processing of the native oilseed like soybean, sunflower, edible oil import, boosting the retail in the cold press oil, and enabling the creation of the many such a large scale business with the private public partnership and investment, and can address the economic aspiration of our disheartened youth, protecting the examination leak and low requirement vacancy. While the TEEP may temporarily boost the urban consumer demand amidst growing household independence, suboptional suboptional private investment take to center can demonstrate the greater commitment for the long-term structural reform, which can this climate relations, AI relations, aspiration-centric job, may opportunity exist as we embark toward the our shared vision of the Viksit Bharat. So this is the article related. Another article is eliminating the elitism in the mental health. Ministry of Labor Employment in the year end review the report of 2024 stated that all the state and union territories expected to complete the process of harmonization and pre-publication of draft rule for the new labor code by the March 31, 2025. This provided efficient windows for the government to consider incorporation of the provision that create the liability based framework to ensure the mental health of the worker, especially those in the blue collar category. In 2024, for the first time, the mental health was acknowledged as an impactful driver for the individual. The National Development in the economic survey, the survey also noted that the 10.6% of adults in India suffer from the mental disorder, with the treatment gap ranging between the 70 to 92% depending upon the specific condition. And National Mental Health Survey 2015-16, the World Health Organization in the fact the sheet of the mental health at the work outlines several risks, including the excessive workload, rapid work pace, long, unsocial, and inflexible hours, unsafe, poor physical working condition, job security, inadequate pay, conflicting home and work demand. This risk of primary impact the blue collar work due to their demanding job, unsafe work environment, and lack of the adequate legislative and policy protection. And this time has come to for government to address the challenges of increasing the elitism in the field of mental health and the well-being of the worker, highlighted the significant disparity between the blue collar and white collar employment. And do you know about the blue collar and white collar employment? And if you know, please comment below. The first, occupational safety, health and working condition code 2020. The concept of occupational safety, which is limited to the physical safety to the ensure that employment, the simplicity exclude the mental well-being and the safety norms of the preventive nature. For instance, the section 6(1) clause D uses the phrase as far as reasonably practiced, while the creating the mandated for the employer to provide the working environment that is safe and without any health risk. Defining the ambit of this phase is left to the central government, which will notify it from the time to time. And moreover, this conjointly the reading with the section 23 and 24 of the OSHWC provided a narrow notion of the health, confining to it to the physical well-being and excluding the mental health. Second, as for the definition of the employment injury under the section 2 clause 28 of the code of social security 2020, read this third schedule of the employment can claim the compensation under the section 74 of the CSC only if the personal injury caused by the accident or occupational disease rising out of and in the course of employment. The third schedule now where enlisted the disease arises out of the mental strain attributed to the course of the employment. Moreover, this it tend to the create a legislative mandate upon the victim to the establish the direct link between the injuries and the occupational and before the educating the authority in country, the Bombay High Court in the Lakshmi Bai Atmaram and the chairman of the trustee Bombay Ports Trust expanded the scope of the occupational injury, observing that even if the employment is the merely a contributing cause or an accelerating the mechanism, the disease employment contribution combination shall be deemed to be the established. The third, some major company are making the substantial effort to enhance the well-being and work-life balances and mental health of their white collar employment. The help for the health assistant and the lifestyle enrichment program by the Infosys, Wipro, Mitra initiative and the employee assistance program by the Tata Consultancy Service. And some of the example in the context of the central government praiseworthy Tailmanes initiative bridge that gap between the callers and the mental health professional, but it functionally required the beneficiary to voluntarily make up the direct call and a helpline number. The lack of awareness about the such initiative on the blue collar worker coupled with their inherent hesitation to take the such a step and dilute the objective of three initiative. I mean, due to the workload, our government is planning that to eliminate the stage elitism. Elitism means nothing. It's a mental problem. Precious precor no, this is not important. You know, US government is withdrawing from the WHO, and a Donald Trump United States withdraw from the WHO. WHO is being the bias to the war toward the China and the mishandling the COVID-19 pandemic. I mean, US government is saying that WHO is not doing the properly. WHO is biased toward the China and mishandling the COVID-19. So that's why US decided that I am going to withdraw from your backward WHO. And this is not the first time the Mr. Trump chose to withdraw from the WHO. He took the step to leave the organization 2020 for the same reason. However, the Joe Biden administration decided to continue the partnership, and close to 45% of Americans agreed with the Trump assessment back in 2020, according to the Global Attitude Survey conducted by the research center. And this is not the first time Donald Trump is saying that I'm going to out from this WHO and something like that. How will the government produce the required fuel ethanol? I mean, government to planning to required fuel ethanol. Union government Nitin Gadkari said that India will achieve its target of 20% of ethanol blending petrol in the next 2 months, at least a year ahead. What was the originally planned? This would be entail that the production of nearly 1,100 crore liter of the fuel ethanol in the 1 year. 1,100 crore liter of the fuel ethanol will come from the sugar and high grade of molasses. Food Corporation of India, rice, broken rice, meat. India ethanol distillery capacity has ramped up to 1,600 crore a liter, driven by the range of the government initiative, promise of stable lucrative market, and sugar is expected to provide some 400 crore a liter and with ethanol year. According to the Deepak Balani, Director General of the India Sugar and Bioenergy Manufacture Association, India had a closed sugar stock of around 80 lakh ton in the October 2020. The project sugar produced for the next year is around the 350 lakh ton, out of which 40 lakh ton will go to the fuel ethanol. It said that ethanol for the non-fuel use will come from the low-grade molasses called the C-heavy that don't go into the sugar production. The government recently decided to reduce the price of FCL rice from 20 rupees to 22 rupees per kg. The government hand out the state that some of 110 crore liter of ethanol will be produced from the FCI rice this ethanol year. This means that almost 400 crore liter of the fuel ethanol should come from the maize. Okay. For context, India was producing a little or no ethanol from the maize until the 2020. Beside the pre-plague grain, based on the distillery coming up, some sugar distillery have modified to the dual feed. So in the off of the season, they can use the other feedstock maize to produce the ethanol. At India, maize production is just about the enough to traditional needs such as for the poultry sector, livestock, feed, starch production. Some 10% of the Indian consumption, as the government has imposed the cost of allowing the sugar and high quality of the molasses molasses for the ethanol production. The maize imports started ramping up in April 2024. The April to the June apex 100 crore worth of the maize was imported, while the 2023 the promise of steady lucrative ethanol market has meanwhile goaded many farmers to take the maize cultivation across the India. The major maize production state in Karnataka. What is the major maize production state? Like Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra. मध्य प्रदेश, महाराष्ट्र, आंध्र, राजस्थान, बिहार, उत्तर प्रदेश. 2024 ethanol year maize output would be the 42 million ton, out of which the 9 million can go toward the production of the 350 to 400 crore of liter ethanol. HSJAR Director ICAR Indian Institute of the Maize Research Ludhiana said the sitting good prospect for the Kharif this year. He said importing the maize will not be necessary. Since 2020-21, when the ethanol production was almost all the sugar-based maize production had increased by the nearly 6 million tons in the 3 year for the potential ethanol use. As things stand now, the maize is cultivated in the 10% more area at a higher yield. Say that Jot, who also expected some of the diversion from the traditional maize usage in supplying the ethanol is the more lucrative for the farmer, and whether that won't disrupt the market. The government had imposed the curbs to allowing the sugar and high quality of molasses for the ethanol production. Maize imports stated from the ramping. So this article related to ethanol production and Delhi gender budget, its decline and impact. Another article is how do they work? What is the different kind? I mean, this article related to amplifier and nothing important. So let's move for the next article. Number of people killed in the car bomb explosion in Syria. Do you know about the Syria? What is the capital of the Syria? Worth of 2,000 notes still out in the public despite the withdrawal. I mean, RBI said there are many notes of the 2,000 banks, 2,000 rupees in the public. EV share of EV from the total vehicles sold in Norway. Number of the protester in a rally in the Berlin against far right. Germany unwritten agreement not to work. Okay, Jharkhand Mukti Morcha pass a resolution rejecting the citizenship amendment bill, uniform civil code, and RC National Register of Citizens. I mean, in the Jharkhand, Hemant Soren have passed a resolution to reject the uniform civil code which has been given in DPSP article 44 and the citizenship. Do you know about citizenship in our constitution also? And the NRC which bring in 2090 to prevent the migrants who come Muslim migrants, I mean who come from the neighboring country like Bangladesh, Pakistan. 93% of probability that voice in leak tape is of the Myanmar. I mean, there is the leak tape in the Myanmar also, Manipur also. So that's why it's sweeping in the Supreme Court here on the Feb 12 to place the CEC appointment. Acha, what is the thing? मतलब election commission, chief election commission which give the central dominance role. Supreme Court agreed to hear the 12 February to petition challenges that legality of the new law dealing with the appointment of chief election commission. Two crore people take the Amrit Snan on Basant Panchami at the Mahakumbh. Do you know about the Mahakumbh? There is the Samund Manthan and the Amrit will come from the Samund Manthan and it fall down on the four places: Haridwar, Prayagraj, Ujjain, and Nasik. Every 12 year we celebrate a mela to wash out the our ill, our whatever the wrong thing we have did, we have to wash out while bathing in this Kumbh Mela. So this time it is now in Allahabad. Okay. Ravishankar पास smell a conspiracy behind the stand. Okay. China could come inside the country, become the Make in India fail. Okay. Opposition is doing something blame game and nothing important in this article. So I want to finish in the 20 minutes also. Do not reduce the forest land to linear the project. As the Supreme Court said that. The Supreme Court made it clear that the union government and state on Monday that no step will be taken by them to reduce the forest land and unleash the compensatory land is provided by them for the afforestation will be not allowed to you to reduce the forest area, and you cannot use any forest land for the linear project. If you are using any area for the project, the same amount of land must be given for the compensatory or afforestation. A bench of the Justice B.R. Gawai and the Binod Chandraman addressed the additional Solicitor General. The court was hearing the clutches of petition challenges amendment made in 2023, the Forest Conservation Act 1980. In 1980, State 2 was enacted the check for the deforestation leading to the ecological balance. And last year, the top court significantly declared in order that the expression forest would continue to have a broad and small encompasses and meaning to include the 1.97 lakh square kilometer of undeclared forest land. Petition had argued that Section 1A introduced through the amended act and circumscribed substantially diluted the definition of forest to the two category declare forest and the land recorded as the forest in the government recorded after the 1980. The center, however, had denied the using the amend to reduce the forest cover. It pointed to the explanation in section 1 of which expanded the terms government recorded contain the provision to the include the land recognition of forest by any state and union territory authority, a local body council. However, the court had co-directed the government for the clarity and seek to the dictionary meaning of the forest and upheld in the 1996 Supreme Court decision under T.N. Gundman, something like this. Allegation of the caste profile of the student misleading the IIT. There's an allegation is going on. China will EU foreign the reacting the US President Donald Trump remarking on Sunday evening that the tariff against the EU were the definitely on the card. The youth of foreign affairs and security affairs Kaja Kala said in China would be stand on the benefit from any EU trade war. Trump pushed the Mexico tariff but Canada and China to pay. At least 40 people killed and 70 injured. Artillery sailing in the South Sudan. Okay. At least 40 people are killed in Monday and 70 wounded by the artillery shelling. The shelling was carried out by the faction of Sudan People's Liberation Movement North. A group has clashing with the both army and rival paramilitary. Okay. OpenAI on Monday unveiled the Chat GPT tool called the Deep Research that can produce a detailed report. A company made an announcement in Tokyo, which is the capital of Japan, where the OpenAI's chief Sam Altman also trumped a new joint venture with the tech investor SoftBank group to offer the advanced AI service to the business. At least 90 people killed in the mostly women in a car bomb explosion in Syria. It's very tragic. Do you know about the European Union? 27 countries, same flag, same currency, same establishment device, but Britain has exist from the European Union, that is called the Brexit, and European Union to adopt a more pragmatic approach to talk with the India and other, as such, say the Kalas. And for this, we have finished this article, this newspaper. Four categories that have been registered in decline of barren and wasteland. Culturable wasteland area under the pasture. And now we are going to study about the NCERT class 12th, second book, chapter name 5th, unit 3rd, land resources and agriculture. In these land resources, we are trying to understand the major land form and major agriculture. So let's move. Land use challenges in India. Land use in region is the large extent. It is influenced by the nature of economic activity carried out in this region. However, while the economic activity changes over the time, the land, like many other natural resources, is the fixed in terms of area. At this stage, one need to appreciate the three types of changes that an economy undergo which affect land use. First, what should be the changes that affect the economy? First is the size of economy. Major in terms of the value of all the goods and the services produced in the economy. And the size of economy grow over the time as a result of increasing population, changes in income level, availability of technology, association factor. As a result, the pressure on land will increase with the time and marginal land would come to underuse. Second, देखिए, second the congestion